Hi Rise parents. Today's activity we are going to be making a sensory bin. It's a good idea if you want to include your child in this task. There's a lot of fine motor that goes into it. Some things that you need are just some sort of medium for dipping their hands into to find different objects. This could be rice. I'm using sprinkles because for some reason I just had a plethora of sprinkles. You can use beans, sand, any kind of dry goods. And then a container to put it in. A glass bowl is all I'd have. I would suggest plastic, of course. And then any kind of little doodads you may have. I have a bunch of dice, so that's what I'm going to use. You might think about rating your board games for tiny little objects and manipulatives to throw into here. Or if your child has something that they really like tiny dinosaurs or something like that, you could throw those in here. So the benefit of this activity is to stimulate the kinesthetic feedback system with that proprioceptive and tactile input. It's going to give them better discrimination skills. It's going to give them better manual dexterity and manipulation skills. Also, it's a visual perceptual activity. So if you have something multicolored like this and you hide objects in it that are also colorful or whatever, it's going to be a little more difficult to find them. If you're using rice, then that's going to make a better contrasting background. It'll be easier to find them. And so you can grade the activity harder or easier that way, depending on your child's needs. And then the other thing that you can incorporate into here, of course, with your child helping you, they can use a spoon. You can incorporate your feeding type skills and they can scoop some of the rice or sprinkles or whatever it is that you use into there, and they can just dump the whole entire thing in. We get some wrist rotation with that. They can use these again to pour and scoop repeatedly. That's a good skill for them to work on. And then also when they pull things out of the container or out of the sensory bin, they can then put it in a container. So using that pincer grasp, because it's a tiny object, so it just kind of facilitates that on its own. They might still be using a raking grasp, but this activity makes them kind of have to work on those manipulation skills because they got to shake off that stuff that they don't want so that they just have the object in their hand. You could also grade this up and make it a little harder by putting a lid on that has that hole in it, similar to the video we did yesterday, and then they can find their object and put it in the hole. Okay, so the easiest way is going to be without the lid. The smaller the hole, the harder it is. You can cut it whatever size you want to. If you really want to upgrade it for your child, you could even practice scooping, whoops, not like that. It's hard to do left-handed. I'm right-handed. And putting it into the hole. That way it just works on their fine motor accuracy skills, their gradation of force skills, helps with their concentration and improving their attention because they have to pay attention to what they're doing so that they don't make an error. Again, with the spoons too, I have a very heavy spoon here that gives more input to the hand so that they can feel it in their hand and also have better control. So please email me if you have any questions about this activity or text me, call me anytime, and have fun.